Hi. So I just came out of my first 10-day silent vipassana meditation retreat, and I wanted to share my experience after these 10 days. So vipassana is an old meditation technique from India, and it teaches, among other things, that things that comes up in your life are impermanent, and it purifies your souls and your sufferings and teaches you how to not suffer. And I find it a little hard to explain what it actually does, because I mean, to put in one phrase what you learn in 10 days is not that easy. But there's no doubt that it's a very hard experience. It's really hard mentally, and it's also very hard physically. And people may think, oh, you just sit down and you just don't think, and you try to sit down, don't think for 11 hours a day. And I mean, there's a lot of work in that part, and yeah, it is hard work physically and mentally. And there's a lot of people who says that their vipassana experience is a before and after in their life, and I can only agree. I feel a lot more, I feel a lot stronger as a person. I feel a lot more mature, and I feel empowered for what life will bring me. Um, every day, I experience a lot of different sensations. We had arrival day, and then we had 10 days, and then we had departure day. And well, each day were very individual. And I remember thinking, wow, today this is happening. One thing is like what is happening in the teaching, meditation, inside me, and my moods and everything. And 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 then when the days passes, it also kind of blurs a little together. I mean, so but what I do know is that they say that the hardest days are day 2 and 6. For me, it was day 1 and 5. There was arrival day, and the first thing I experienced, I almost threw my phone after the volunteer there. I was like, just take this, take it away from me. I really needed a break. And and then I go to my room, and the first thing I see when I step in, that I have the bunk bed, upper bunk bed. And I hate to sleep in upper bunk beds. And I was just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I cannot survive this. I'm just gonna I just I can't do this for 10 days. So yeah, it's impossible. And then I was like, okay, first lesson here, learn to sleep in the upper bed. Well, I was so lucky actually that nobody came in the under bed, so I only slept up there for one night, and then I crawled down. Um, I remember that the first full day, so that was arrival day. The next day is day 1, and that day went super slow. I don't think I ever in my life have had a day that went so slow. I was just like, I can't do this. If every day, 10 days of this, it was like one day felt like it was, I don't know, a month or 2 months. And I was like, I'm not gonna survive this. And I was just like, I was almost just, yeah, but then came day 2. And what really surprised me about day 2 is because we were in silence, we couldn't talk to each other, we could not look at each other, and we could not smile at each other. I felt very rude. I could not say thank you when somebody held the door for me. And I remember I'm there all, I cannot see anything, stumbling out of bed. I'm not a morning person. I'm like, oh, I have to wake up now and go meditate. And and I go to the bathroom, I sit down and I pee, and there's no paper, and then someone passes me a roll under the toilet. And I was just like, oh my God, that's so nice. I was so happy and I was so, so grateful. But could I say thank you? No. I still don't know until the day today who did it. And I couldn't say thank you. And then I felt so rude that I could not say thank you. And I was like, I cannot even look people in the eyes. And I felt people were so rude to me because, well, nobody was looking at me. Nobody, yeah. And, but then the day went on and yeah, the days went on and it was very different from day to day and even from moment to moment. I had some days that were better. I had some days that were worse. And then yeah, also day 5, I was sick and I was in a lot of pain and I wasn't moving forward in my technique, and I was just like, God, I just can't be here. It's horrible. It's like physically, mentally, this is horrible. I can't support this. I'm just, I can't. But I did, and yeah. So it's the first time I might even say ever in my life I really spent time with me alone, isolated, and I mean I have had periods in my life where I have been a lot alone, but there's always been a phone or TV or a book or somebody to talk with or something. But I really got to be with me and find out that there is a me, and that was really beautiful. And even though I do like to talk to other people and I do like to get distracted by music and TV and reading and stuff, I really enjoyed also being with me. Um, Found out I'm quite awesome. Yeah. I also during the days had a lot could have some times of the day I was really happy and I just singing along, and then I had some time where I was really sad and even cried during the meditations. Or, yeah, and yeah, I really learned to be with myself and appreciate my own company and value it a lot, and learn how I don't need so much from the outside. It's nice to have, but I don't actually need it. Yeah, I don't yet feel that I'm enlightened. You could say that being enlightened is the goal. I don't feel like I am that, but there's no doubt that I'm on my road towards it, and on my Dhamma. And I had some pretty intense meditation. I will admit that, pretty intense, being really really good, but also pretty intense and being really really hard. And yeah, I experienced that the first days I was really focusing a lot on the past. Whenever I was thinking, got distracted by my own thoughts, it was a lot about the past. And then during a couple of days, I started to think a lot about the future, and then it was basically everything. And then the last couple of days, I was just like, okay, I'm ready now to see the real world. And again, I started to think a bit about the past again. But yeah. So the first day we started to learn a technique, and every day we build on that technique and we learned more and more and more. And it is definitely not a vacation. It is kind of going to school. Just you learn in a different way. School of life. It is literally school of life. It just teaches you so much, and it just teaches you techniques, how to get rid of your suffering, and how to receive suffering from the future, from things that will happen in your life. it really makes you more calm and makes you prepared. And so every day we learn technique in the meditation, and every night the the primary teacher Goenke, he teaches us through well, it's his voice when we meditate, and then in the night there's an hour with him talking, teaching, and then there's assistant teachers who are physically there, a man and a woman, and the women for the women. And yeah, because we are actually really separated. So in the dining hall they put up a blanket, so women in one part, men in another part. There's yeah, it's totally separate. Entering the meditation hall, one side women enter, one side men enter, which was actually really nice. We were sitting in the little meditation hall to hear the the that Goenka talks in the night in English, hearing him talk, and many people hear it in Spanish or in other languages, but as we heard it in English, we went to the little meditation, and then the women and men was divided, but there wasn't a lot of space, so kind of a man sat in between some women, and you could just like kind of feel the whole energy in the room was like it's like crossing boundaries, and then the volunteers there were like right away was like, yeah, you have to sit on that side, you can't kind of. So it was very weird and very exciting when we could start to talk again and we could talk with men again. It was like, hey, I'm talking to a man. I've been missing men and now here they are. It was very fun. Just in general, when you start talking again, it was so weird. We all just kind of looked at each other and was like, I can say hi. And when we're walking here, like the women have their walking space in nature and men have theirs, of course, divided. When women went, I took a little walk there, and then there was a woman who was like, we smiled at each other and we started laughing, and she's like, we can actually talk to each other now while we're walking here in the park. And it was very funny how slowly everybody started to talk again, and then everybody just talked a lot, and me inclusive, of course. There's no doubt about that. And yeah, it was really. It's a very special ambience there is. We are all kind of united. We are a lot. I mean, we are at least 50 women and 50 men. And then there's like 10, 15 women volunteers and 10, 15 men volunteers. So we're a lot of people. So, of course, when we started to talk, it was a lot of people talking, and the dining hall got really loud, and you can hear people talk everywhere, and but there was this special atmosphere, like we just everybody just went over to each other to kind of to just be like, hey, how are you, how did your journey go? And it was very amazing. Like, we didn't talk to each other for these 10 days, but you were never alone. Like, I had times and moments where I was like, oh my god, there's just people everywhere. And because you, of course, you share a room, you cannot go to the bathroom with people. There was times in the dining hall, just from the clinging on the plates, and with the force and knives, I just purpose came late, so some people had already started to leave because there was just so many people. Now I got off track. I came from the technique. So yeah, the technique gets harder and harder for every day. You learn more and more and more. And of course, you meditate over 100 hours during these 10 days. That's a hell lot of hours. Hell lot of hours. So, but it's actually, I was very surprised about how the technique, how the schooling about it was. It was really good. I mean, it has a really good learning process about how you build it up. And for example, I gotta admit, I get distracted easy and I get bored easy. So when we learned the technique, I was like, yeah, okay, I know this now. Yeah, I can do that. I feel that. And then I got bored, and then I was like, la la la, in my own little world, there in my head. But then every night he was like, okay, tomorrow you work with, you build this on. And there's like, ooh, this is so interesting. Now I want to do this. And I got grabbed by the moment. Then it was like, gave me an energy to start the next day instead of being like, oh, I have to keep doing this. And with the discourses in the night where he was talking, he suddenly, everything you had been experienced through the day and thought about it, it made a lot of sense. And he talked a lot about it in life in general. And then of course the last couple of days he's talked a lot about how to take this with you into the real world, I want to say, but this is the real world as well, but just into the world you share with everybody else. Yeah. So a lot of hard work, but wow, the immense amount of knowledge I cannot explain. uh yeah, and I definitely feel like I have learned a lot. I've come a long way with my meditation and with learning and understanding life in general, and learning understanding myself, and that's really amazing. And I am most definitely on my way. It's wow, and there's a long way ahead. You don't learn anything, I mean, you don't learn anything in a few hours. So I'm on my road, definitely. So for those who knows me, there will be one thing you would think, of course she will be missing this a lot, and I'm not. But first I will say what I miss. So what I have missed through these days, I have missed chocolate a lot. I've also missed red wine. I've also missed real coffee, and I've also missed sex and music and reading and painting and doing yoga. I have missed to watch TV. And then I have missed Google and a dictionary. Sometimes I got lost in a thought and I was like, oh, what about this and something? And I was like, I want to Google it. I want to know the answer. And I was like, okay, I can't know the answer. And this is one of the answers I can't find within myself. And a dictionary, sometimes there's a word where like, what is this again? So that would have been very practical as well, actually. Yeah, what I have actually not missed, surprise, surprise, is talking. I have not missed talking. I have really enjoyed not talking to people. And when we started to talk with people again, it really surprised me. I was like, what? This is weird. I'm just gonna go for a little walk alone now and not talk with people. And 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 I've also not missed listening to people, because people talk a lot of bullshit. And yeah, I've missed the people I love. I definitely, they have been a lot in my thoughts, and wanting to know how they are they okay, what do they feel, are they happy, and then wanting to spend time with them. But in general, I actually have learned the appreciation of the silence much more, how beautiful that is. Yeah. And as a final note, I just want to say that I really think everybody should do this. Not everybody should just jump up and just run over and do a 10 days course. But everybody should do it someday in their path. It would help a lot to meditate beforehand and read up on, and well, not read up on it. I didn't read up on anything, but meditate beforehand, and to talk with people who has done it. Those two things. I talked with several people who have done it, and that helped me a lot. And I saw when I arrived how many people actually have come here without actually not knowing anything what they went into, and they were just really scared actually. And then I could, on behalf of the experience of other people who have told me, I could tell them about that and that and that. And then yeah, so meditate, different types of meditation. Be ready to, this will be a type of meditation. You have to forget everything you have done, but meditate. Just the act of sitting down, learning what posture do you like to sit down. This is also something you learn throughout. Try a million different cushions and sit in different ways, and cushions everywhere and blankets everywhere, and you test that, but also try it beforehand and meditate, and be okay with it, and talk with people who have done it. So feel free to reach out if you're curious. And I really think everybody should do it down the road. I think everybody can learn so much from getting peace, and learn how to get the peace, because it's not something that's going to be served for you on a silver platter. It's something you got to work for, work hard for, but it is so worth it. So would recommend most people to do it.